Rod, in terms of how creative people can and brands can, I guess, lean into AI and create these meaningful experiences. Are there particular examples where you've been pioneering this? I know you've been working, not only with our clients but our wider group, you and Mr. Jones and so on, and the AI Foundation to really unpack this. What are the sort of things that you're, pushing the boundaries on in that space?
Right. I think if I think about specifically what you mentioned at the AI Foundation, which is an absolutely brilliant business. I think we've been doing some mind-blowing, they've been doing some mind-blowing stuff. We're trying to keep up and again, use AI in here as a tool for creativity. And maybe for people that don't, or most of you probably don't know, but the AI Foundation, one of the things that they do is to develop what they call ethical artificial intelligence or ethical artificial intelligence agents, that people can train, that you can teach, right? So the way it works is, they basically, by using 3D scanning and 3D mapping, they can create a photoreal virtual avatar that can look exactly like you or me, right? So the thing is actually so real that you couldn't tell the difference if the avatar or the real person are in a Zoom call. It's just identical, right? But that is just the shell. It's not about the avatar. The interesting part of it is the AI, right? So, and it's really smart the way they do, because just by using a few hours of audio recording of the person, right, to make the avatar, they can do that avatar talk just like you as well, with all the all the nuances of pronunciation, pauses, in my case, the accent. So, and when you got to that, then you can train this AI to think the way you think. And that's where the magic, I think, starts happening, right? And the way it works is just like raising a child, really. You're teaching it, but it just happens much, much faster. And the AI can get actually to a point where it looks and talks and thinks like you. And of course, that's when it can start getting a little scary. And I know this also can sound a little abstract and complicated, but I don't know if you're interested to see how this thing works more. There's actually a video on YouTube of Deepak Chopra doing a demo of this AI at the Jimmy Fallon show. And he's basically building his own AI. So generations of people and his family are able to talk with him when he dies and understand more about the way that he thinks, and understand more, his beliefs. So this for me is where things can get a little exciting and scary. But again, if you use it as a tool, it just showed the huge possibilities for creativity and storytelling, really, right?
Even on a rational level, that type of technology is making advances in customer service all the time, where we've gone from having to call or email, or maybe even there might be a chatbot on your favorite e-commerce site, to now you can have a Zoom call with a fully AI customer service person who has all the learnings of every other problem that they've solved for other customers, and can sit and interpret your challenge in real time. And I think, taking those types of technologies and seeing how that they're overlaying with e-commerce and online shopping and media is really interesting, and how it's progressing things forward into being more accessible. Because as we introduce these technologies, there will be an expectation from consumers and customers that it will also make their lives better, right? So not just marketers and advertising, where we're trying to work out the sums of how we make things more efficient and more effective, but from a consumer perspective as well, these technologies and these platforms are really going to have an impact on their lives, and it will change the expectation of the consumer, which will then ultimately have a reflection on brands and how brands address consumer concerns or those opportunities to deliver services and products to those consumers. So it's a changing sphere on both sides.